Hey, what's up? We're back at it now. We're gonna play the videos game because I want to play it. I'm done. We're done fucking around. Car ear mode, and we're in the middle of this. That's right. If you'll recall. I've learned what the terrible smell was in the last stream. It's just the stuff inside my nose. I can't escape this terrible smell. It sucks. Oh, it's looking a lot better than I thought it was. Oh, it's too loud again. On my end. Reasonable volume for some things is way too loud for other things. Oh wow, I can just straight up get it from down here. Like, I'm seeing that, but like, it was not like really clicking that I was just straight up getting this stuff from down here. There we go, yeah. What if they decided that yellow on yellow was fine? Like, oh, that's not gonna be a big deal, right? But oh boy, is it. Oh yeah, finally got one of those done. Alright. what I'm looking for to clean. Yeah, we're getting it now. And to me goes the spoilers. Haha. Tell me all the spoilers about, what do I want to know spoilers about? You know what, let's tie this into the last video. Tell me all the spoilers of Star Wars. Every Star Wars big spoiler you can think of, tell me. And I want this for multiple reasons, one of which is I don't plan on watching the rest of the Star Wars films anytime soon because I just don't care about Star Wars. It all kind of sucks. Like, oh, okay, the prequel films, as they're known, they suck. They're the best of the ones, I'd say, but they still suck. You can be the best at something and still suck. You know what I mean? Like Star Wars. And hell, I mean, you can also be the worst at something and still be great. In the same vein of things. Come on. That's right. Spray off this guy's goofy little cheeks. Stupid mustache. Yeah. Just move out of my way, please. going to go ahead and put on a shorter barrel. Just to cover a wider array. Now I'll put this back on to spray up there. Whew. Oh boy, you know, I can't wait to do the soap only challenge for these. I don't know if anyone else does that when they do this, where they just go into free play and do the whole thing using only soap. It's such a fun thing to do. There we go. Yoza. Ooh. Private hangar. We're gonna have to go clean up that. Uh-oh. This guy's here to be a weenie at us again. That's a bad suggestion. That I don't think would work, no. What is this guy trying to do? Trying to troll physics me, huh? Trying to be like, oh. Spray it up in the air for like 10 minutes and let gravity do the rest. Just like that. It's not how this sort of thing works, my guy. Wow. Very hard to remember what button you're pressing when you're using a keyboard and you're not used to using keyboards. In case that statement didn't make it obvious, I'm not really a PC game player. I do play them, case in point. But, I sort of only play PC games casually. Oh no. And what games I play for real? Super Nintendo. Game Boy Advance. These are two of my favorite video game consoles. There we go. That's a little better. Ho ho! Indeed. Ooh, we got that whole ring cleaned. Love when that happens. Arg, my arms. Sorry, my hand, my elbow just gave a little, stiff. I am certain this happens to many people when they are playing PC games in an awkward position. I just remembered some funny shit from some other guys. And so I won't say it because it's someone else's joke. It's like, haha, look at me, I'm succeeding using other people's jokes. What do you think I am? Amy Schumer? Oh, who the fuck was that one? Dane Cook. Dane Cook is also a joke thief. Ironically, by saying those, that makes me, like, one step away from them. I mean, if you're gonna steal jokes, at least have the joke be that the joke is stolen, that you stole someone else's joke, and that you didn't tell it as well. Better if you just steal someone else's joke format. Like if I were to say, you might be a redneck if you have a truck. There you go. I've stolen someone else's joke format and done it terribly. And that's the joke. Is that I did it awful. Oh, wow. You know you're pretty close to it when the wide beam does this. Does so well cleaning it, like wowsies. Yeah. It's fine. whiz all the time. This is the nature of humanity. Did y'all hear about the Nintendo tax? Yeah, that's when you go to try and buy something online and it's a Nintendo thing, so it costs way more than it should. It costs you way more than it's actually worth. That's the Nintendo tax, and it sucks. Like, say, I go online and I try to find copies of Chibi Robo for the Nintendo GameCube, and it's like, okay, 4 or 5 new copies of Chibi Robo pop up every day, selling for a few $100s each, and it's like, wait a minute. A few $100, 5 copies every day? Wait a minute, that doesn't sound right. That sounds like supply and demand is out of control. And it's like, yep. Sounds like people who are selling them don't know about supply and demand, or they do, and they know that they're scamming everyone. And yeah, that seems to be the case. Like, if you told me, like, okay, yeah, the actual end, when everything's said and done, and, you know, pandemic prices are over, Chibi Robo will still go for like $60. I'd be like, that sucks, but what the hell? What the hell's this NPC's talking about? But like, if you told me that when pandemic prices are over, something like Chibi Robo will still be like $60, I'd be like, well, that sucks, but it's fair. For a game that wasn't that common, but it wasn't uncommon either. And sometimes games are just really expensive for no reason, other than their Nintendo games, and that's the Nintendo tax. I don't need to be on the ground anymore, I can stand up. Or other, like, GameCube games that were, once again, fairly common. Like, Wario World. Like, man, if you're collecting every game made by Treasure, you're fucked when it comes to Wario World specifically. There's probably a few others, but, like, man. Because guess what? Like, the N64 classic Treasure game Mischief Makers? That goes for a reasonable price on eBay. You know, 30, 40 bucks. 20 if you're lucky. Yeah. I think that's a reasonable price for an N64 game that's considered a classic. That's considered by many to be a classic. Up. Gotta move this over here to get the top of the clown. Oh, get his eyelids too, yuck. His eyelids got gunk all over him. feel like there's probably a lot of people who play this game, get to this guy, and are like, oh, I hate this guy, I don't want him to be clean, I don't want to clean him. But imagine how much less scary to you, a fool, he will be when he's clean. Like, you're thinking only in the, like, terms of, like, right there and now. Which is like, oh, it's a clown and I'm a fool who's scared of clowns. How can you be scared of clowns? They're so pathetic. Is it the Joker you're scared of? Is it Pennywise you're scared of? Those aren't clowns. Those are, like, a crime lord and an eldritch monster. Not clowns. Oh no, you're scared of, there was a serial killer who was a clown in his spare time. Like, I guess he was a clown for a living. What was it, Jeffrey Dahmer? Yeah, guess what? You're not scared of him as a clown. You're scared of the concept of him as a clown. Like, you're scared of the concept that, oh, what if a clown is a criminal? Crime is only what you make of it, you know? We're gonna... Oh, perfect. We already have the metal soap attached. That's wonderful. I must have been using it last time. I don't remember. It's been a couple of days. The in-game guy who owns this will not be pleased that I took a couple days off, but, you know. I'm not pleased that apparently he's lying to me about this having been clean before. Yeah. Since I don't want to stand like right on top of the dirt, we're making it so that I have a longer barrel. You ever do that? Just get a longer barrel so you don't have to stand as close to things to clean them? Oh my gosh. Can't believe I forgot about this section. No wonder there's still so much dirt on the stairs. Oh yeah. There we go. Yeah. Over here too. Ooh, over here too. The real thing I have to say alright about is, alright, I think I'm losing my mind. I keep hearing like sounds. Sounds like when there's a bug in the house and it's bumping into stuff like a dumbass. 'Cause that's all bugs do, is they bump into shit like dumbasses. Oh yeah. Where's your grime, other signpost? There we go. Found some grime. Oh yeah. I think all I have left now is the slide itself. Oh yeah, baby. I just remembered, I saw that it said I could buy more soap, so we're gonna do that. Love how much metal soap it had for sale there. Like, gee, I wonder why it had so much metal soap. Alright, now we're heading back to the top and we're just gonna sort of spray our way down. It's very hard to stand up in places like this because it just didn't want me to clip through the thing there, which I probably wouldn't have, but you know, I can understand why it's like, no, you might clip through it. Here's a fun thing to ask chat. You ever play a game that gives you motion sickness? Or you ever watch someone play a game that gives you motion sickness, at least? Like, as I said, I'm into older games, but like, man, I can't do like one of the Genesis / Master System's big games because it gives me motion sickness. Not their biggest game, mind you. Sonic is an easy game to play, no motion sickness given. But a game that's really huge on that if you ask a lot of Sega guys, they're like, oh yeah, it's a classic. It's a great game. It's like, it gives me motion sickness. Which is funny, because in a video I just watched about that game, because I watched a video about it indirectly. It was in a compilation video of a bunch of videos that those guys did, and he was like, oh yeah, here's a video about Space Harrier, and he showed a bunch of other games made by the same guy using the same sort of system, and none of those gave me motion sickness, and I was like, huh, just Space Harrier, huh? Sorry, Sega dudes. Can't play Space Harrier. You're gonna make me throw up. Generally, mouse and keyboard games make me feel a similar way, where I'm gonna throw up. This one is different because it's so slow-paced. But in this case, it makes me feel like I'm gonna throw up because my hands are shaky. which, you know, makes me get a little dizzy as I'm watching it, which makes my hands shakier, which makes it worse, and then it sort of compounds until it all goes down the tubes of the toilet, because that's where you're supposed to throw up. That's a really nice reflection that this has. Shame I don't have a reflection. Player character's just a vampire, obviously. That's why we have no reflection. I just remembered because of like weird things about video games is, so I've seen that that new GTA free Vice City and San Andreas re-release that came out. Looks like shit. A damn shame too, honestly. Because I have Vice City and San Andreas on PS2, and the PS2 versions look better. It's like, damn. How badly you gotta fuck up that a PS2 game looks better than a, like, 2021 PC game. And you're a big company with a big budget. Like, come the fuck on, man. Can't just nostalgia bait people with a good game and then give them a shit version of said good game. It's disappointing. As someone who doesn't even really care for Grand Theft Auto, like, you know, I hear people be like, oh yeah, GTA 4 is so great. GTA 4 is absolutely the worst fucking game like that I've played. Like, it took so many things that were really cool about San Andreas and was like, hey, what if we just got rid of those? Like, you can't keep cars. There's so many things that, like, were things in fucking... that were things in a PS2 game that a 360 and PS3 game doesn't have for some reason. And it's like, what the hell? Okay. Oh, slide rail. Alright. So slide walls are all done. What are we missing then? Let's find out. Missing 3 slide frames. Good to know, good to know. 4 5th tier panels. And 2 window frames, amongst other things. Oh, and channel lights. Oh. There's something I'm missing. Yeah. Slightly extra long just cause. Slide frame, 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 frame. How many slide frames? I'm missing 2 more. Okay. Okay. Haha. gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and bring this guy over. Come on. And slide frame. Slide frame. That's at the fucking top. Awesome. All right. Ah! Thought I heard a bug again. I'm losing my fucking mind. There it is. I saw it. So it's real. I'm not losing my mind. Of course. I hate when you get stuck in this shit. Unstick me, you fucking fiend. Give me just one moment, chat. I have to do something to hopefully repel this bug. We have lit a candle, and it is a citrus candle, and apparently bugs hate the smell of citrus. So here's hoping. So I have to open something as well. Liquid. I still think this game should have fall damage. I think it'd be funny. Oh, fifth tier panel. Found it. That's right. I just have to find all the channel lights. These ones are good. These ones are good. They're good. Uh-huh. Yep. Okay. looking okay so far. Oh, found some gunk on that one. Okay, so there's one more to get. It is those guys. Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Let's watch it. Oh yeah. Queen from the top down, baby. Oh yeah. Oh, that was awesome. I like watching the cleaning go down the spirally part. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, so this is the guy who had the Technodrome drill. I hope this guy has me come clean the Technodrome eventually. I only know that he's that guy because he said, like, you cleaned my drill earlier and you did a sick job with it. But you cleaned this too. My jet. Definitely nothing evil going on. Yep. Nothing evil whatsoever. Love 80s cartoon supervillains and how fucking daft they are. Yo. Soccer to ball. We love balls of this variety. So I only get the one ladder, huh? So I have to climb up and then pick it up again. Come on. Give me the ladder. Oh god. Oh no 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 no. You can't do that to me. I'm so sick of bugs, you know? You know, I'm reminded because of something I just said that I actually one time on Twitter said something sarcastically and a bunch of people didn't realize I was sarcastic and liked the tweet, and it's like, really? Really? It was a tweet from a while ago. Someone was like, 80s cartoon villains were the best villains. And I was like, yes, I love these losers who can't fucking succeed at anything because they're idiots. And I was saying that sarcastically, and a bunch of old people liked the post, and I was like, oh god. They didn't know that I was being sarcastic. I hate these loser villains. They're losers. They're inept. That's their whole thing, is that they're a joke. Like, I've watched a bunch of 80s cartoons. There's one villain in, like, 80s cartoons that, like, is threatening, that I would be, that if they showed up, I'd be like, oh, fuck. And that's just Mumra from Thundercats, because, like, that guy is... Like, legit a little scary. Not like super terrifying or anything, but a little scary, yeah. I think this is from when I was still following. Yeah, I think it was when I was still following Mike Matei on Twitter. Because, you know, every once in a while he did say something funny. And then he turned into the guy who said, if you played the game and you used the rewind feature or the save state feature of modern emulators, you didn't beat the game. That was my legit Mike Matei impression. In fact, I'm reminded that's also probably from when I still watched some other guys who at one point made a, like, legit, they made an apology to him for having made a statement, having made a bad joke, and then saying that it was a joke much like he would say, which it's absolutely a joke he would say and make. So I don't know why they were apologizing for saying that Castle My Asshole is in fact a Mike Matei joke. Like, it's that where he's not the one who said it. He would have said it. He would say something like that. Because it's not funny. And, well, what's funny about him is that he's the guy who said that, you know, he... Oh, another thing that's funny about him is being the inspiration for the angry video game nerd. Like, man, imagine if you were the inspiration for an iconic character. That would be like equal parts really cool, but also really sucky if it was the angry video game nerd that was based on you. I wouldn't know how to feel in a situation like that. I'd be like, oh wow, I don't know whether to be honored or annoyed that this is what you think of me. Honored that you would create this character that's going to become iconic. That's based on me, or enjoying that you've created a character based on me that's iconic now. You know, I wouldn't know how to feel. It would be one of those two emotions, though. In fact, I'd probably feel what I feel now, which is I don't know how to feel about that. Uh-oh. Internet went down. So this is some YouTube exclusive jokes, huh? Only YouTube can hear this. Twitch sucks, man. Shit. Twitch sucks so bad that I did that. I made a mistake. This is a joke. Please come watch me on twitch.tv. Nope. It's trying. Oh no. I'm gonna fucking stab Griffin. I swear to God. If you're watching this on YouTube in the future, hey, welcome to Technical Difficulties. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and... This one? No, it's this one. Technical Difficulties. Because he just had to use a fucking Wi-Fi card instead of like having Wi-Fi installed in his computer. Hey, are we back up? Looks like we're back up. Hey, chat, you missed nothing. You missed technical difficulties. Because Griffin's fucking computer's a turd. There we go. Let's get back to it. Jesus Weezus. Losing my goddamn mind. Oh, I also got this a little cleaner. Like this section. you missed a little bit if you're watching this live, which you probably aren't. Let's be real. Let's be honest with ourselves. You know, that's fine. Yeah. And by us and ourselves, I just mean me. You know how that is. Fucking bug. I'm sick of this thing. God dang. Losing my mind at how boring this is. Yeesh. Stop it. Go normal. Yes. Alright, come on. Alright, yep. So we're just gonna go ahead and soak this bitch down just a little bit. Just make things easier on me, huh? Okay, fine, whatever. We'll clean off those just straight up with the soap, I guess. God, I'll tell you, my main problem with playing this game is how limited the soap is. Sure, why not? Fictional character in the game who can't hear me actually respond. Ooh, fun. Okay, so you'll tell me, and then says nothing. Like, huh, since it's you, sure. Proceeds to not say anything. Sorry, I just heard the bug very near me for a second. I was ready to attack. Alright, yeah. I saw it again. You'll ever have a bug in your house? Damn spiders ain't doing their job. There's a reason I don't kill the spiders. It's because I think, one, I think spiders are cool, and two, they eat the bugs. If they're eating the bugs, that's great. That means that something I hate is being gotten rid of. Alright, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and spray down these wires. Oh yeah. The real problem isn't even the bugs themselves, it's the fucking sounds. The sick of it. So fucking angry. Yes. Yeah. Oh, awesome. Oh, I'm so fucking mad. Just how slippery everything is in this game. Nice. God damn it. Again with my fingers were just in the wrong place on the keyboard. I can't be the only one who has to deal with this sort of thing. My fingers were in the wrong place on the keyboard. We'll go ahead and call it fingers in the wrong place on the keyboard-itis. Yeah. Oh shit. The sound I just made was the same thing as on the... I have to quit forever now because I've made a big mistake like that. But guess what? I'm not quitting. Why would I quit? I love playing games. Oh boy. In-game story stuff from a cartoon supervillain in the game. Ah, very funny. I can respect a joke. Multi-purpose. We love multi-purpose soap here. Because we have so fucking much of it. It's giving me metal things to clean. What am I gonna clean next? The Eiffel Tower. A classic joke that I just remembered. So if you're American in the living room and you're, say, Canadian in the kitchen, what are you in the bathroom? European. That was a good fake laugh I did there too. It made me laugh for real. Love that kind of shit. This stuff really doesn't want to get clean. guess really this guy, with that joke this guy made, like, you know, definitely comes across like a cartoon supervillain, and like I was saying Shredder because he's got, just because he has the it was just because of the drill, the like small single person like drill mechanism, but like the joke he made about his plane being the world's largest pencil feels kind of like a Hank Scorpio from The Simpsons kind of thing to do. Though I'll also say, never seen the episode with Hank Scorpio. It was never one that played whenever I would watch the Simpsons stuff, like when it was in syndication. When at 6 p.m. every night you could just sort of stop and watch The Simpsons on our local channels. It's like, haha. Ooh. Uh-oh. We have more soap though, that's a good sign. That's always good. Plasmatizes, huh? Oh, we got the pipes already. Did we? Really? Huh. Here we did. Oh, but not these ones. Ooh, yucky. Right, let's go ahead and check and make sure. Dog pipes 2 of 3. Okay, yep. Vortex generators, huh? Like, that's a weird thing to call it, but I'm pretty sure those are real things that they put on planes, and that literally it's just so that, like, oh, if you're driving, like, a plane and you want to drive it real fast and look real cool, you want to put a bunch of little trails behind it, that's what that's for. I'll say, even if you like the police, you have good reason to hate this town's police, which is that they made fun of the firemen. It's like, sure, maybe the firemen are, maybe like the one fireman I talked to a bunch is a conspiracy theory guy, but like, man, that's the firemen. You don't make fun of the firemen for having a dirty truck because they don't have the ability to wash it all the time, because they live in a town where there's a volcano. You're the cops. You're supposed to be friends to the firemen. Everyone should be friends to the concept of the firemen. They put out fires. aliens. We're cleaning aliens. Bruh. I'm so excited. I've never seen an alien. Oh my god, what if... Oh. They need to put UFO in the game. You need to clean like a flying saucer. I think that's something they need in this game. I mean, as long as we're doing like cool shit. Flying saucer. We can clean these guys, yeah. Oh god. There we go. Yeah. Also, my boss still won't get one of these so that we can use it at work. Like, we have one. He just won't get it and let us use it. And it's like, dude, come on, we can clean the floors so easily. There's so much gunk on the floors because it's been months and no one's been able to mop because there hasn't been enough people here for mopping to be something feasible. Get the thing, and we can spray the floors clean. He's like, maybe. And then that's where it fucking ends. Is maybe. Don't you just hate when you're talking to someone and they say maybe, but maybe means no? I'd rather talk to someone where maybe means maybe and no means no. I mean, there's quite a few types of people that'll say maybe but mean no. You know, parents, for instance. Like, I remember that was a big thing when I was a kid. Is, you know, your mom says maybe, she means no. She just didn't want to say no for some reason. Don't know why. Never made any sense, but hey, you know, I'm not a parent. Or a manager. And this is why you can trust me. Is because if I say maybe, I mean maybe. I don't mean no. Now, you could always end up in a situation where maybe ends up meaning no, because maybe meant maybe the whole time. But most of the time, like, that sort of situation maybe means, no, we're not going to do that. I don't know why. As I said, at work we have one of these. It's not like we have to go buy one or anything. It's there. He just gets the pressure washer and we can clean the floor and it'll look great. Like, if what it is he doesn't want me to spend an extra hour after work doing stuff, like, okay. Whatever. I hope he's ready to close because I don't think he is, but he better be, because we're sort of doomed over there. Oh, you can climb up the back of the ladder. That's a fun piece of information. Oh. You know, I've been thinking of submitting a speedrun to a game that doesn't have a category for it, just because I probably could finish the game in one sitting. Relatively easy to try and convince other people to speedrun the game. Especially since there's other games in that same series that do have categories on speedrun, but like this one doesn't for some reason. It's like, why not? I think it's a good game and that people should play it. It's a perfect movement kind of speedrun, though. I guess that might be part of why. Because I can't see of a way to, like, say, like, oh, well, no, you got tech, you got glitches. Currently, as far as I know, since no one else speedruns it, there's no known, like, big skip glitches for it. I've been giving serious consideration to, like, doing the speedrun for it, as I said, because easy world record right there. I mean, there's another easy world record for my other main speed game, Garfield, but Garfield is annoyingly difficult. I'm sick of playing Garfield. I don't want to do it anymore. But that's an easy second place. Oh. He's telling me more story about his plane with a laser cannon on the front. Yeah, this guy definitely feels more Hank Scorpio than any other cartoon villain. Also, I feel like it's important to note that I do mean that as a compliment. Like, that I can tell what character this guy's supposed to be based on is a compliment. It's like, oh yeah. I mean, clearly there's always going to... Like, everyone is going to be inspired by something. Nothing is original. So if I say that it reminds me of something, unless it reminds me of something I hate, I intend it as a compliment. Like if I were to say that something invokes the feeling of like the first time you play a game as like a little kid and you're not very good at it, it's like that's meant as a compliment. Like it invokes a nostalgic sense, you know? Oh no. Come on. Oh, I'm sick of this kind of stuff where it's so small you can't see, like you can't see where the dirt is. Oh, there's some more. Some more is part of the problem there as well. Alright. There we go. Sick of bugs. He needs to get his own house. The joke is Bugs Bunny, you see. I'm a clever person. A real rip-roaring genius of a person. Hell, such a genius I can say that I'm rip-roaring. Oh, we already got that one. I just didn't see it. Yowza. This is really cool, but also quite tedious. Oh, my back. Oh, that hurt. I didn't even do anything. It just sort of was like, oh, shirt pain. For fun. Haha. Hee hee hee. It's because Griffin decided that the best setup for streaming is on the floor. Won't get a longer cable for his microphone. He won't get... Like, he doesn't like wired controllers. And he also won't get for himself the wireless N64 controller, which I think would be a great thing for him. Like, okay, yeah, because I guarantee by the time he gets it, it would have the drivers so that he could use it on PC. And he already, this moron, already decided, yeah, you know what, after learning that it was bad, decided, yeah, I'm gonna get the Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack. It's like, wait, after you learned it was bad. Guess what he's played with it? He's played Ocarina of Time. He's got Ocarina of Time. If he wanted to play Ocarina of Time like on the go in handheld type mode, he could borrow my copy of Ocarina of Time 3D. I'd let him, so that he didn't have to play a shitty version of it. But no, he doesn't care about that because Ocarina of Time 3D is technically a different game. It's like, what the hell is this guy's problem? He is so obtuse. Like, what the fuck? It's nonsense. You ever have to deal with someone like that? Someone who's like really obtuse, like, why are you doing it this way? Because as I indicated, I have to. And it's my brother / roommate. Whereas I do have to say, I do appreciate that he lets me use his computer. Like, honestly, another thing I'll say is I probably wouldn't be playing this like this because I would not be using mouse and keyboard, and this is really difficult to play with a controller. I can say this as someone who prefers to use a controller in most situations. Yeah, I can appreciate that Griffin lets me use his computer, but like, god dang, he doesn't make good decisions. Which is funny, because like, I guess that's why he doesn't make decisions all that often in general. I mean, he gets takeout all the time. Or rather delivery, you know? He gets stuff delivered, like food, every day. Like, he doesn't make food at home. Because he's got the money for it. Because he doesn't spend his money on things that he might want or that might be useful to him. And if he does, it's something fucked up and like, why would you do it this way? Oh, shoot. Looks like he's missing the cap to his fuel line, this guy. This Hank Scorpio-esque fellow. Oh, something I just remembered that I missed on the other wing, and I only know I missed it on the other wing because I thought, oh, you know, I'll get those whenever I'm underneath it, but I ended up not. Gotta clean these off. Yeah. Window. Alright. We got all the windows over here. Window. Perfect. Oh, this engine still isn't clean though. What the hell? Spray them wings down. What the hell? Get this the fuck out of my way. Oh, TV. It's a CRT, fellas. The heck is this thing? It's another gun. What? Why has he got his own pressure washer hooked up in here? Is that, like, is the joke that he killed the last guy? And that's... that he had tried to have someone else do it, and they're like, oh, you're like evil and stuff, so I have to call the cops on you. And he was like, oh, you can't call the cops on me. Kills you. Kills you, lol. But like with Griffin's bad plans, like this computer uses Wi-Fi. Does not have a built-in Wi-Fi card. He decided on an external Wi-Fi card, and he did not decide on a good external Wi-Fi card. It is wiggling about every damn time that like you, if I wiggle it, if I wiggle on the floor, it wiggles in the thing because of like how it where it is put in. It's got a bunch of other cables around it. It's like I wish I understood why he did some of the things he does. Oh my god. Okay, there we go. Alright, well. That's that. It looks like we're pretty close to done now. I mean, of course, I could have just looked at the number that says we're at 96%. Soap. Glass cleaner. Hell yeah. Ow. I just popped my elbow. Yeah. There we go. Okay. Climb up the plane. God, the wiring. I hate wiring. Oh, my asshole. It's not my asshole. I am sick of sitting on the floor. But if I can't sit anywhere that's far enough away, because then the fucking microphone won't reach. Doesn't that suck? Don't you just hate that? When you have to sit somewhere really uncomfortable? Because otherwise the microphone won't fucking reach? Also, big fan of anti-jokes. We're just gonna say that right now. Big fan of them. They're really stupid, but like in a good way. Ugh. Like when you see the age-old, oh, you couldn't make Blazing Saddles today, but then it's followed up with the actors would look at it and be like, hey, wait a minute, this is just Blazing Saddles. This is already a movie. That's funny. Did we get that one? Yeah, we did. Awesome. Alright. Yowza. Oh. There we go. What am I missing? One of the cockpit sensors, an antenna somewhere? Oh, there's more of those stupid little things. God dang it. Did I get that? I did. Okay. Ah. Oh, nice. Stop it! Get in the fucking ladder, you sick son of a bitch! Oh, god damn it. Come on. There we go. That's all of those fuckers. Okay, so I try and clean a tail scoop, whatever the fuck that is. Oh, okay. So there's just one of these on both sides. I thought I had. Okay, now I have to find another antenna somewhere. There it is. Alright, hell yeah. Ah, feel free to use this hangar for any large or odd jobs you may pick up in the future. Cool. Spray that plane down. That looks so good whenever it's finished like that. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. This is awesome. Okay. A frolic boat? What the hell? Let's go for it. Get a load of this guy. Oh! It's a riverboat. A bunch of bullshit, you know? That's what's going on. Character's friend. I don't know, I ain't seen no cats, I ain't seen any dogs, I ain't seen any other people. All I've seen are machines and houses and my gun. And that's all you need. In a world like this, that's like you could never need anything more. Oh god, there's something in my eye. I hate this kind of shit. Ever happened to you, chat? You just get some shit in your eye? Figuratively. If you get shit in your eye, literally, go to the doctor. Go to an optometrist of some sort. Get that shit cleaned out properly. Call poison control. Be like, I have feces in my eye. And they're like, oh god, that's disgusting. It's like, yeah, I don't know how it got in there. And now we're just... Sometimes you ever just go on a weird random rant in the middle of something because you don't have anything else to talk about. So you talk about, because there was something in your eye, you talk about what if there was literal shit in it? That'd be fucked up. We're gonna hit this edging with this stuff as well. Alright. Hey, let me go shit on this guy's porch. That's because he wouldn't let me in the house last time. Or he wouldn't let me on the property to clean the house, so we shit on the porch. We make jokes about shitting on the porch. It didn't actually let me shit. Yes. Clean the canapes. Yeah. I have no idea. Like I'm paying attention to anything other than spraying. Oh, he's gonna flood the town. That's why he wants this riverboat. I thought it was for a Dixieland booze cruise, but nope. The mayor's gonna flood the town, sacrificing all the people to some sort of deity. That's what mayors do, you know. They sacrifice the townspeople. To like their dark gods. And sometimes the people are like, what the hell? And sometimes the people are like, I too worship this dark god and I'm looking to be sacrificed. Woo. Yeah. Bronze kitty. Brass, perhaps? Looks brass. And I'm gonna guess brass and not gold because, this dude's the mayor of some small British town. He's not like some sort of, like, feudal lord who has enough to buy a thing with a gold cat on the front. And brass is cheaper than gold, so. So I think it is safe to assume that it is brass. It is definitely not bronze, I can tell because I have sprayed it off. And I know what bronze looks like. As someone who went to school for metalworking, I think I know what different kinds of metals look like. Ugh. Yeah, this thing's all like, now let's get down to brass cats. plays jazz. Because jazz music features brass instruments quite heavily. And also, you know, you call them, like, if you were to call a jazz musician some cats, they'd be like, oh, hell yeah. Like, we them cats would do that. So that was a very funny joke I had. You all laughed hysterically. It was kind of sad to see you laugh that hard. It looks like it hurt. I'm sorry that you hurt yourself laughing at my funny joke. I'll try to be less funny from now on so you guys don't hurt yourselves. So, yeah, hear about sports team, insert sports team city here. Yeah, I hear they're going to the big game at insert sports city name here. See, this is so unfunny, right, chat? You're no longer hurting yourselves from laughing at my incredible jokes. So we're just gonna head back up here. Head round to the back of the boat. Yeah. And we even got the stuff underneath. What am I missing? On the trim, on the top. There's gotta be something. Oh, it's gonna be the top, isn't it? Yeah, it's gonna be the top, the proper topper. Speak of the devil. There's some crud right there. Bugs again. You ever have to deal with bugs, chat? I keep bitching about it because I keep hearing it. You ever think about how people just love complaining? And there's like no scooting around it. Like, I don't think I've ever met a person that actually disliked complaining. And you know what? I'm gonna say I think that's really cool. Like, part of the human condition is humans love to bitch. So in an ironic turn of events, a perfect world would still... A perfect world for humans would still allow humans to complain. You know, if you can't complain, figuratively, that sucks. I feel bad for you. Oh my god, you know what? Forget it. Where's my middle cleaner? Right here. Only 2.1 liters left, but... Actually, did we get any new soaps in? We did. We got some more soap. Wood cleaner, huh? Come on. Yeesh. This stuff just really doesn't want to work, you know? Now we're gonna get the wood cleaner since apparently, yeah, we got a lot of wood cleaner. We can clean this, but good. Oh no, that's all plastic? That sucks. Love how the devs for this game decided, you know what this game needs? This game about cleaning stuff needs story for you to ignore. Because I'll tell you, if I was making a game like this, I would know that most people would be ignoring the story for the gameplay. This is one of them gameplay first kind of games. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Ban Simite Alex because of trying to fucking break the TOS or whatever. I don't even know if that is against the TOS, but I'm pretty sure it is. To the point of, don't come and try to fucking... Like, if I wanted that sort of shit, you know, I'd find you. Which I don't, because I fucking hate the idea of that. I don't have the... Even if I wanted it, I don't have the money for that kind of shit. You're like, here, you want to buy followers? Not really, no. You see, I like having the amount of money that I have, which is some. No. I don't want to have none money, you see. Which, if I tried to do that, I would have none money. And that's not the kind of money you get from someone who has the title of sister. That's a joke about nuns. Shh. You like nun jokes, chat? Because I do. I think that's really funny. You like the classic nun pizza with left beef? That's another good joke about with none in the title. Oh my ass. Fucking hell. We are having a hard time today, chat. Help, I've become old suddenly. Help me, chat. I'm old. Aha. You know, sometimes I think people should just stop calling things by their initials. So that way I don't have to hear racists bitching about televisions. Like, arguably one of the best kinds of televisions. It's like, no, that's a different thing. That's an acronym that already exists, racists. You can't say that you hate the thing and then not even know what the acronym previously stood for. Sick of racists saying they hate CRT. It's like, stop talking about TVs. If you hate being told that racism is racist, fucking say that you hate being told that racism is racist. Cause gosh golly, racism's racist, you know? I don't think that this should be a controversial statement. But apparently it is, because racists are out there saying that they hate the concept of it. Like, oh hey, this historical figure was super racist. Like, oh, what the fuck is his name? They gave him a holiday that some places have decided to call Indigenous Peoples Day instead because, well, you see, he was super racist. And I made a joke about it being, you know, if you still don't want to do either of those, just be like, okay, fine, it's a day about, Peter Falk's classic, detective character. There you go. It's his day instead. We love Columbo. But not the other guy. We hate that guy. Oh my god, there's some tiny bit of dirt on the steering wheel somewhere. Oh, I hate that kind of shit. We hate all sorts of things here on our channel. Ooh, more dirt. Son of a bitch. I almost falled off. You ever almost fall off, chat? Even if it's okay because there's no fall damage. And we're gonna turn off the wood cleaner and put on glass cleaner. Yeah. Spray that glass down. Oh yeah, baby. Ooh, grimy glass. Yeah. In fact, you know what? I'm going to say something else that I was just thinking about again that I also don't think should be controversial, but apparently to some people it is. I just generally hate racism. I think we should all hate that. I don't think that this should be a controversial statement, but apparently to some people it is. It's like, why? Do these people like racism? If you would have asked them that, they'd be like, what? No, of course I don't like racism. But then they'd go and say racist things, and it's like, do they really? No, I was switching to the wood soap. Thank you. Yeesh. No. That's right. Okay, so that stuff's plastic. Good to know. I got so much soap for wood it ain't even funny. Oh, the door's metal. Huh. Could have fooled me. Ah. Blinding me, huh? Hmm. Sure does suck, huh? Sucks for this guy for being such a tool. So he can't get in on it like me. Oh, I didn't see the last thing you said. Hold on. Messages. Well, the desert dig I'm working on. Okay. Alright, well, that's all the wood I need. Now we can clean up all this plastic. was watching this guy on some other stream talk about how he pays his mods, and the upside to that, if you're paying them, is they're going to be following your rules. They're not going to be like doing things that unpaid mods might do. Like if you just make your friends mods, something I would do if I was a mod in someone's chat is I'd just do everything I could to try and be like as evil as possible, which I've seen multiple chats filled with just like, you know, like, hey, my goal is to ban as many people as possible, or do as much evil as possible without, like, breaking the rules of the... breaking the pre-existing rules of the chat, you know? I've straight up seen a mod in a chat just come out and say, hey, anybody want to get banned? And someone chimes in and is like, sure. And they're like, okay. And then bans them. And it's like, what? What? First off, why did this person want to get banned? Like, I get the wanting to just, like, you know, lay the ban hammer down. Especially if you're on if you're a streamer who has more than, like, 0 viewers at a time, so... You know. Damn it. I keep pressing the wrong fucking button. There we go. But yeah, it's just like, damn, you know. Unpaid mods be getting out that bloodlust. Somehow. Which, as I said, I understand, you know, you gotta get your bloodlust out somehow. As a full-fledged level 20 barbarian, IRL, you gotta get your bloodlust out somehow. Better to do it by banning people in a chat than by real violence against real people. Usually. If you're doing violence against people who are doing violence to others, I think that's fine. I would be no good in a war because I'm a melee combatant, and they don't have melee combat divisions in war anymore. Which is good in some ways, but I mean... Oh, this one's still not clean. Where is it? Still needs some cleaning done. Oh, right up here. Haha. How about you? Where you still dirty? Huh? Huh? Where you still dirty? Right there? That's one spot. Oh my god, sitting here sucks. Oh. I think the only, like, difficult thing left to up here clean is gonna be that cat. Excuse me. Stop it! off of the fucking... Yeesh. Fuck's sake, man. Magnificus, huh? That's a shitty little name for a boat. I've just realized I can do this. Now we're closer without actually being closer. Looks like that's irrelevant though. Stuff really needs a lot of pressure on it, huh? Oh, it is meant to be gold. That's fucked. You know, gun whale sounds like something completely different than whatever the hell this thing is. If you said to me, hey, what's a gun whale? I'd be like, so you know what a whale is, right? I'd be like, yeah. So it's like that, but like a cyborg covered in like weaponry and shit. Not necessarily all just like, you know, bang bang guns, but sometimes also like pew pew, bleep bleem guns, you know? Like a laser gun. Perfect. We're gonna also go ahead and turn this one on. So that way we can get at this a little easier. So we can see what we're getting at. Oh boy. Oh, hello. Thank you. This is just some real shit here. Oh, sure, go right ahead. It is a little, yeah. Oh boy. Yeah, go ahead with your joke, that's fine. What's funnier than a pond or a mountain? Oh, well, why is the mountain funnier? Ah, that is a good one. Oh boy. One of these is gonna be a real turd. Small parts. This is the part that really sucks about this, is whenever that's just like, you know, oh, only small parts left. It's stuff that's not coming up. Ouch. Alright. Too much of a brain off kind of game. Because I play it and my brain turns off. Don't know what to do. Don't know what to say. Forget words are even a thing, you know? Ouch. God, I just remembered something that I was thinking about earlier. Always weird when you come across a game that doesn't have any speedruns. And it's not this game. It's not this game. I'm pretty sure this game is speedrun by people. Because it's just the kind of game that feels like it would be, but other games, sometimes you just come across one and it's like, yeah, there's no category for this, for speedrunning this on the Speedruns website. And it's like, why? Other games in that series have speedruns, why not this one? Okay, come on. Where the hell is still dirty on this thing? There we go. Go. Oh, cleat. What the hell is a cleat in this case? Get the keel, propeller, rudder. Which pillar isn't done? Ow, my shoulder. Oh, cleats are these things up here. I remember now. It's like that thing. Yeah. Perfect. Let's probably this one on the back here. Yep. Okay, whatever. Just trying to read what all that guy said, but there was too much in the way of it being said. Woo! Riverboat. Okay. And that's it. Now all we can do is free play. We're gonna go to my least favorite location. for one final soap only challenge. Hell yeah. We love soap. Oof. Oh. Ah. God. Boy, this level's taking a long time to load. It's okay. It happens. Sometimes that happens to a game. Right, hell yeah, multi-purpose. We're gonna go back down to the short weapon. Oh yeah. Metal, there we go, yeah. Oh man, oh man. Just the problem is I really like this game, but it's really not good for streaming. Because I just shut up and play the game, you know? And that's the problem with too many good video games, is either too many games that I like are just sort of these mindless games where you just play them. I'm not like trying to be quiet while I'm playing this. These games don't inspire me to talk. I just play them and it's like, okay, you know, we're here, we're cleaning. This says a lot about our society. You know, that kind of shit. You know, one door says big honkin' booba and the other says, delicious dinner, and everyone's going into the door that says big honkin' booba. That says a lot about our society. You know. Though I do think it'd be funnier if the doors, or if the thing said big honkin' bobos. Multi-purpose, there we go. Oh, we need to refill our multi-purpose soap. Oh boy. yeah. This is a chill and relaxing stream today. This is how we play. We're very chill, relaxing. We're gonna do some ASMR type stuff right now. Just by saying, talking quietly. Not talking like particularly into the microphone or anything. We're kind of far away from the microphone actually. How about that? This is the good kind of ASMR because we're just sitting here. We're talking. There's a hissing sound in the background. In fact, it might even be the foreground. I don't know how loud I am compared to it. And we like that about that. That's what we're looking for. Oh no. This is what kind of stuff we do. Let's go ahead and put on a shorter gun. Shorter barrel. There we go. So that way we can find where the dirt is. Plastic on the hand dryer. What? I mean, here in this fictional England, those things aren't all made out of 100% metal. Unlike in real America. That's fucked up. I'm just gonna say it right now, that's fucked up, chat. Let's get some metal cleaner to clean this off. Yeah. Clean off the faucets. Perfect. And we're gonna clean off this girder too. This I-beam. Like Cyclops from the X-Men. It's a funny joke about the X-Men. If you know, you know. And honestly, given how popular the X-Men are, there's a reasonable chance that you know. And if you don't, that's okay. The X-Men are not everyone's favorite Marvel character. Though if they're not, oh. Once again, I'll say I feel sorry for you, because the X-Men, I think, are just better than any other Marvel character. Even Spider-Man. Spider-Man has the best video games. But only just barely. I think Spider-Man on PS1 and N64 just barely beats out X-Men, Konami's X-Men in arcades and stuff like that. No. We're not walking in the toilets. No. We don't like that. We don't like walking in the toilets. It's yucky. This whole stage is very yucky. Like, look at this. Disgusting. Go over here, see, like, did I actually? No, I didn't. It just looked like there was a turd over here that I cleaned up last time I played this level. It really did look like there was a turd last time I cleaned this level. Just like sitting in one of these and it's like, ew, no. But as I said, there appears to not actually be that there, so I think that's good. Multi-purpose cleaner. So cleaning off the roof again, or the ceiling, I guess. The roof would be something else. this section as well. Because we can, and we should. We're having a good time. We're having such a good time I forgot I was streaming and that I should say things. Which, as I've mentioned, is the problem of this and games like this game and games like this game. Is that I just sort of forget that I'm streaming and that I should probably talk while I'm streaming. In fact, when I'm doing this, like, my brain just starts playing music and it doesn't stop. Let's go ahead and swap to the glass so we can clean these windows properly. Oh, that one's clean. Metal. There we go. Metal cleaner. Ah yes, in fact we'll go ahead and get this as well. Wonderful. Nice and clean. Okay, that thing's clean. That thing's clean. Alright. Beautiful. Wonderful, wonderful. Pull out the multi-purpose again. Go. That guy's clean. That guy's clean. Perfect. Awesome. This room is starting to look great. Ow. I had to readjust my seating position. And it hurt a little bit. Ew, ew. This room's yucky. In fact, you know what? I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna go ahead and erase this. It sucks. I'm gonna draw it better. Oop. Doop. Dip. Zoop. 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 And zoop. Zoop. There we go. That's how you do that. Not that crap way, whatever the hell this person did. And so now, this will show up and just sit there while I'm cleaning the other room in the, in the time lapse at the end of it. It's great. I love that about the time lapse in this game. This is disgusting. You know, the other level was more relaxing than this one just because this area is a bathroom. That's right. Eat the filth. Soap. That is to say, Soap McTavish, the guy from Call of Duty Modern Warfare. He needs to eat the dirt off the walls. And the toilet, too. Alright. And we need plastic soap. Because for some reason this toilet's tank is plastic, but the toilet tank for the urinals out front is metal. Alright, glass cleaner to get the, oh perfect. Now we're gonna swap to the wood cleaner to clean up the toilet seat and the lid. And the toilet itself is still filthy. Alright, wonderful. No, I said metal. good time cleaning, even though we are cleaning gross stuff at this point. Ew. This room is disgusting. As I said, I just have to assume that the character's wearing a hazmat suit of some sort. Like, I would be wearing a hazmat suit if I went into a room like this. Just do this. There we go. Yeah. That's a little better, having a slightly longer attachment. Yowza. Aliens! I had to erase the aliens because they scared me. Plastic. Of course, plastic. Go. Now we need, you know what, here, we'll do this. Get the wood soap out again. Yeah, alright. There we go. That's the one I meant to hit. This is so simple, but also so confusing. Beautiful. Now we need to do the multi-purpose again. Alright. No. Oh, the ceiling again. Oh, I forgot about cleaning off this ceiling. That part sucks. Luckily, the ceiling doesn't seem to be as filthy as some of the rest of the parts. I mean, what with all this stuff coming off fairly easily. Arg. Gotta take a break for just a moment to stretch my hips because I am sitting on the floor still, and I'm quite peeved with Griffin for his sit-up where we have to stream from the floor. Oh, I need one of those seats so we can sit on the floor comfortably, and Griffin doesn't get to use it because he's a fucking jerk. Because he's the reason I have to use it in the first place. Oh. Ouch. Okay. Back to the game. Game PC. Ooh, yeah. Yeah. Did I really clean the archway already? I must have. Huh. Crazy. Yeah. You know, I'm gonna say something that sounds okay. Whoa. Weird to pop up in the middle of my thing like that. Forgot that that could happen. But that's Twitchfoot. He's playing Skyrim, I guess. Hopefully it's an older version of Skyrim and not the newest re-release of Skyrim. Because I know he's got older versions of Skyrim, and I don't know if he has the newest re-release. If he has the newest re-release, I'm going to deck him. Like, what the hell's wrong with you, Twitchfoot? And if you're watching this and you're seeing it, Twitchfoot, what is that which one it is? Twitchfoot and Talon? Is that which one it is? Do you have the newest re-release of Skyrim? I hope not, because I'd have to deck you, and I don't want to. Ooh. Wow, this room is so clean compared to all that out there. I should just stay in here. That is a joke. My character's getting... Well, my character would be getting paid to clean this bathroom if I hadn't already cleaned it, but... And then we'll pull out the metal soap. Oh yeah, you know, I forgot to clean this off. You know, you can't have an Animal Crossing villager call you a cringe baby, and that's not just and that's not because it's like, oh well, you know, that's got an insult in it, and we don't want to have to hear. We don't want people to be like talking about insults. No, it's because it just doesn't fit. You can be called Kring baby, but no matter how hard I tried, I could not get Claudia to call me a cringe baby because I thought that would be funny. No, instead she calls me Kring baby. Let's go ahead and just do everything that uses metal soap now. And anything else we get along the way, well, that's just fine. You ever decided to do something like that in Animal Crossing where you decide to have your villager call you by some sort of insulting name? Like, oh, I've come up with a great nickname for you. And they come up with something like really stupid, like, oh, how's Smack'em Yack'em, or some other dumb bullshit. And it's like, oh, that's dumb bullshit. Do you not know that that's dumb bullshit? Oh my god. Oh, sorry, I was scared by this monster of the toilet, I guess. Arg, me arse. Garg. We are just falling apart back here, chat. Oh, it's over here, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, I figured it was that gunk. So is that hinge? Okay, so are both hinges clean? Looks like it. Three. Got the wood soap. Multi-purpose. Come on. Bam, 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 bam. Oh my god, there was still things I needed to clean with the metal soap. I should be fired. For what? I don't know. And from what? I don't know. There we go. Cool S. We got that guy over there. think I've done enough of the stuff that requires... Nah, this requires metal, but that's... Ah! Oh god, it's still there. I didn't kill it. It's just gonna get mad at me now. Let's go ahead and use this one instead. So we're covering a larger area. And we can get closer to ourselves. No! My soap. It ran out while I was cleaning the potties. Oh, about to have to reload, yep. You ever play a Star Trek video game? They're usually not very good. And as someone who likes Star Trek more than Star Wars, I think that's a shame. Because Star Wars video games are almost always good. And I say this, as I said, as someone who does not like Star Wars. Chewie, don't let the potty monster see you. Oh, I didn't finish off that girder? That's crazy. I thought I had. There we go. Now we can start using the multi-purpose in here. We're going to use it everywhere. You know, something I just thought of. It's always kind of lame when someone who really sucks gets really popular for some reason. Let's go ahead and swap to the wood. Like, and I'm certain there are some people who are going to be mad at me about this, but like MatPat. Like, man, at first his stuff was okay, you know. I'm not anti-early game theory as like a concept. In practice, yeah, I do hate it, but like conceptually, there was nothing wrong with it at the time. Little did we know he would become a villain of monumental proportions. He feels like someone who would be unwilling to be anti-Scott Cawthon. Partially because he's made a lot of money off of Scott Cawthon. Making his game theory videos about Five Nights at Freddy's. I think it's safe to be anti-Scott Cawthon. Fuck that guy. Figuratively. I mean, man, you seen that the rest of that guy's stuff from before, like his weird Christian stuff? Like, man, you know, I guess when you get down to it, it really isn't surprising that he is still a weird Christian. Like, 'cause see, there's Christians, and then there's weird Christians, like Scott Cawthon. Alright. Metal. And we're done talking about Scott Cawthon because I don't want to talk about him anymore. And we're also done talking about MatPat. Because I don't want to talk about him anymore either. I want to talk about things I like there's lots of things I like, but which specific things should we talk about? Let's get back to talking about Star Trek video games. Why was it so hard to make a good Star Trek video game? Because, like, I mean, I guess I can understand. It's like, I mean, what do you make it? When you make a game based on Star Trek, what kind of game do you make? Do you make a space shooter? Do you make an RTS? These are two types that have come across very well. People really like these two specific Star Trek games. The RTS and the this So that's the thing is they never made a just straight up like space shooter shmup that was Star Trek, and that could have been really good. I mean, my current Star Trek game that I've been playing has a pseudo shmup section in it. Very pseudo. I mean, like, if a shmup had a slow moving, like, was very slow moving, and you fired really slowly, and it had an ice level, it'd be that. Okay, well, I guess we're gonna have to deal with this at a different time. Arg. My arm is itchy. Alright. I have no idea where the heck this... Yes! We found it. Alright, I think I'm at the point where I just need multi-purpose now. Mostly. I'm reminded that I'm, for some reason, I feel like it's important to tell my boss that he needs to stop telling everyone half-truths. Like, man, if everything's going terribly, tell us everything's going terribly. If you don't know the answer to something, like, you don't know, like, hey, are we gonna close down for good soon? If you don't know that, say, I don't know. Don't be like, everything's gonna be fine. Come on, it's fine. It's like, because it's really not. It's really not, Charles. If you found this and you're watching this, please stop telling us that everything is going to be fine if it's not. If you don't know the answer, tell us you don't know. The wood cleaner and clean off the toilet seat and the toilet lid. Oh, the lid's already clean. Perfect. Wrong. This is the one we need. Yeah. Oof. Alright. That's right. My goal is to clean that as last as I possibly can. Which is going to make things a little difficult around here, but I think I can do it. We got the ceiling clean without getting rid of that. In fact, we're gonna go ahead and clean off underneath it too. Just for the sake of, like, I want to get at that and then just like, oh, you've cleaned off the S, now you're done. Or rather, I guess I've cleaned off everything around the S, now I'm done. Clean up these sinks. Hell yeah. And plastic. Put out the multi-purpose again. There we go. Plastic specifically. And being really careful. Time for the multi-purpose again as we clean this floor over here. What else are we missing? Because I want that to be the absolute last thing I clean. Missing a ceiling, missing a light switch, missing a light panel. Okay, so yeah, let's go ahead and find out. We're apparently also missing a hinge somewhere. That hinge is clean. That hinge is clean. Hinge. Hinge. Perfect. Perfect. Lovely. Hinge. Hinge. Metal. Alright. There's a light somewhere that's not clean. It's not that one. This one? This one? No. Nope. That's not the cable that's not clean. Light switch is not clean somewhere, so it's not that one. This one? This one then. Yeah. I shoulda known. Did I see correctly that it also said that there was a... Let's see. Hinges, yep. Light conduits, so there's one of those I'm missing. One ceiling panel. 3 walls. Oh, and a window frame. Alright, yeah. It's not that light. It's not that light. This one? Nope, fine. But what about your cable. Cable's fine. Alright, alright. Your cable, also fine. Yep. Where am I missing a cable then that's not clean? And did I not see? Okay. So it's one cable somewhere. Oh, it's the cubicle walls. Ah, I see. Okay. Come on. There we go. Okay, that cable is clean. This cable is not clean. Okay, now somewhere there's a wall that's not clean. It's this wall. Again. Basically the same wall, but on the other side. Alright. Oh, we didn't clean off one of these guys. Oh, it's this one. Huh. Alright, there's 3 walls apparently that aren't clean. Ceiling is clean. The ceiling is not clean. Okay. Well, that wall's clean looking. This wall, yep. Okay. It's not this one, because I know that one is not clean, but I know that one's not clean. Tunnel wall. Oh. Couldn't even tell. Ho ho, I found it. Come on. Yes. Alright. All I have left to clean is this. Yes. Wonderful. So go through there. Oh, and then pause. Draw the S. And the S just sits there the whole time. Oh, I love that. That's awesome. And on that note, we're going to go ahead and we're done for today. I hope you liked what you saw. If you did, go ahead and leave a follow. I would appreciate that, because I'd like to be able to do this for a living. That'd be fun to me. But yeah, leave a follow if you want to. I got my Twitter and YouTube linked. which, if you're on YouTube, I have my Twitter and Twitch linked because I got them all on the screen there. And check out tomorrow at approximately 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard. Check out twitch.tv/Griffin151Mew. He streams every Saturday and Sunday at about that time. And I have nothing else. Oh, you may see Lotad in the wormhole there. Every time I what is this? I'm thinking of every time I get a follow, he gets just a little bigger. He's trying to come out of the wormhole, but he's too small right now. But every time I get a follow, he gets bigger and he comes out of the wormhole. And when I get enough follows that I can get 1 subscriber, I'll do face reveal and it'll be fun and funny. And you'll be like, ah, how unexpected. But in any case, see you next time, Chathu. Goodbye.